You're listening to Joy 99.7 FM. If your dial is on 103.9, this is Hits FM. The show is Game Plan. The most authoritative sports show on radio in the capital and beyond. Here we say it as it is. We give you the facts. No censorship whatsoever. No unfounded allegations. We tell you the facts as they are. We're on from now till 3 p.m. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru, your host. Welcome to the show. We're giving you other avenues of streaming where you can access the show. You can listen to us on Twitter Spaces or X Spaces, on the Joy 99.7 FM handle, and on the Joy Sports GH handle as well. If you prefer video version, we're streaming live on the Joy FM YouTube channel. So look for us there and watch the show live. Today's show is slightly different. It's going to be very interactive because we have a huge debate coming up. Alright, within the week, I think on Monday on our other sports show, we started a conversation about whether or not Richmond Lamptey, Kotoko's midfielder, should be called into the Black Stars. The conversation has grown beyond that to even include other players in the Ghana Premier League. And then questions have now been raised about the overall quality of the Ghana Premier League. But is there any player in the Ghana Premier League currently that you think deserves to be in the Black Stars team at the moment? Or more specifically, if you're more passionate about just one name, and that name is Richmond Lamptey, do you think it should be included in the Black Stars squad ahead of the AFCON in 2024 in Côte d'Ivoire? We're just about 29 days away from the Africa Cup of Nations. Chris Heating has reportedly presented his provisional 50-man squad or whatever. So they call it a long list. That is not, you're not mandated to publish that. South Africa have published theirs. I've seen it. We haven't. So maybe Ghana's just waiting to name the 23-man squad for the competition. But which players should be in there? Are there some players in the Ghana Premier League that have made a stake or staked a claim for that, for their inclusion? So we'll look at that. The conversation will be holistic. There's also a big story coming out of the National Sports Authority, the authority or the agency mandated for the development and promotion of sports in Ghana. I have intercepted documents that point to massive problems at the NSA. I can tell you right now, the NSA's central account has undergone garnishment from the Bank of Ghana. In other words, it has been blocked, so they cannot access the account. Why? Because since 2019, of all the monies the NSA has brought in, every single money they've brought in, they have not paid withholding tax to the tune of 15.5 million Ghana cedis. The NSA owes GRA 15.5 million Ghana cedis in withholding tax. Withholding tax. So this is not some money you're supposed to pay. You don't have money. We don't have. No, this is withholding tax. You've subtracted the tax. You've held it. Pay it to GRA. They haven't paid. And GRA has gone to the Bank of Ghana to ask them to garnish their account, which has been done. And at the time of garnishing the NSA's account, they only had 109,000 Ghana cedis in there, which will all be paid to GRA. And then every other money they will get this Christmas, GRA will take everything until they get their 15.5 million. What kind of sports authority is this? So, Sikano, where is the money? Right, so all the excuses we have been giving in the past for why the NSA needs to close down the stadium to football clubs and give it to Stoneboy and Shatawale and raise money, where is the money? Why haven't they been paying the withholding taxes? I just came from the Accra Sports Stadium and my word, that place looks nothing, absolutely nothing like a sports facility. Canopies and chairs with piercing legs all over the place. Once they finish that stadium, there is one reason the Accra Sports Stadium has never had a smooth pitch, and that's because of the way they treat it. So I'll get into that NSA part 2 if you like it. I've prepared my own 10-minute rant or something. Charlie, I really vex. I'm very angry. Because seriously, this is not how the sport should be run in our country. The NSA has its mandate. Why is it deviating from that and engaging in auxiliary things that don't matter to them? But their central responsibilities are being checked. All right, so we'll get into that. And then in midweek, drama in the Champions League. Manchester United finished bottom of their group. Not that was a surprise. Wednesday, Newcastle also finished bottom of their group. So the English Premier League, so-called biggest league in the world, 2 of their representatives in the Champions League finished bottom of their group. The other 2 finished on top of their group. What does that tell us about the English Premier League? And there's a big game this weekend. It can go from bad to worse for Man United. They take on Liverpool with major injury concerns, but their injuries are not as long, of course, as Chelsea's. Now, Robert Sanchez, Cucurella, all of them have joined the injury table or the injury list at Chelsea Football Club. And already the whole of this week, there's conversation about Mauricio Pochettino wanting new players. After spending $1 billion, why do you need new players? What's wrong with the Chelsea project? Today, I'll give 15 minutes to all of you to contribute to the conversation, and we'll have a lot to talk about on the show from now till 3 p.m. Game plan on 99.7, Joy FM, and Hits 103.9 FM, brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters, just as every penny counts. Betway, also proud sponsors of this. We'll be telling you a bit more about them a little later in the show. But let me welcome my guests who are very well seated here. Daniel Krantz, Sitsofe, Philip Atsirim, Muftawu, Nabila, Abdullah, Gary L. Smith is also joining us very shortly. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very good afternoon. Are you all right?
Thank you. Yeah, we're all right. We're all right.
You good?
We are glad to have the man in white in our middle.
Daniel Granting, you're very well dressed. Where are you coming from? You're too dressed for the show. Overdressed for the show.
Married. He said he's married.
Okay.
This is my first appearance since my beautiful wedding.
Physical appearance. Oh, wow.
So
yes, it's true. Last week. Yes. Oh, Charlie, welcome back to the show.
I heard what you said about Mila.
Please. It's okay. Daniki.
A little bird whispered in my ear.
Which bird was that?
I heard what this guy was saying about me last week.
You didn't hear it on radio, but a bird whispered to you.
Yeah, a bird whispered to me.
That bird is Konkonsa.
Daniki, welcome back. We're proud to have you back on the show. We've missed you. How's madam?
You are me, you rough.
How is madam? This is your first time back on the show in a month, right?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Wow. How is Mrs.?
Mrs.
Oh, Nana. What's your name? Oh, Nana. What's your name? Oh, Nana. What's my name?
And now you reply, Mr. Cranty. Say it, let me hear.
Mr. Cranty.
Thank you, my brother.
That's right.
God bless you.
Oh, man.
Mr. Cranty, welcome to the show.
Ask the question again. How is Mrs.?
Mrs.
Because
is
it
fine.
hasn't been answered.
It's okay. Mrs. is fine.
She's doing very well.
Yeah, she's doing very well. She's doing very well. Guys, welcome to the show once again. I've got to say that within the week, you two created a storm on social media because of your views on this particular topic. And I'm just going to play a little bit of what you guys said, all right, on Sports Zone. Okay, where's my voice? I can't find it. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, anyway, bottom line, there was a conversation about Richmond Lamptey. Okay, there was a conversation about Richmond Lamptey and whether or not he should be included in the Black Star squad for the Africa Cup of Nations. Okay, because he had a really good game against Kumasi Asante Kotoko against Hearts of Oak, and it's been one of those weeks where we had quite the most interesting takes from people on this particular topic, because you two went on Sports Zone on Monday where I asked you whether or not you think you should be called into the Black Star squad, and this particular take from you two didn't please a lot of people. Listen to this.
Listen, I like Lamptey. He has great energy. His ability on the ball is great.
Yeah.
And the execution of that pass we saw is brilliant. You can see the pass, but you need the ability to be able to play it. But the Black Star is another step high. And when you've got few weeks to the AFCON, when you've not had him play in this team for the whole year and preparing him to gel, I'm not sure it is the time to throw him in.
Oh, relax. Richmond Lamptey has to be.
Yes.
Who is he better than? In place of who? Let's not do this. You not talk about a Dreams FC player or a Midiama midfielder who is.
What are you talking about?
No, come on. Let's not do this. The guy's doing well. Let's not do this.
Let's not do what? Daniel Cranting. Let's not do what? So here, we've set the premise of the conversation, okay? And for me personally, I'm not sure this is... I've seen where some of the conversation, the direction the conversation has been taken to, some of the directions the conversation has been taken to, okay? And and this has become necessary because we are at a point with the Black Stars team where we have not necessarily performed well, even though we've had players who have played for better clubs or who are playing for better clubs and seemingly actually been in better form coming into the national team. But every time they've come into the national team, they have not necessarily performed. So we are at a point where it looks like pretty much at this moment, any talent that's available and is Ghanaian, we should be open to the idea of throwing them into the mix and seeing what they can churn out. Because the so-called trusted entities that we've brought into the team have overwhelmingly under-delivered so far. So any calls for new players to be brought into the team, from my point of view, justified. The main question is Lamptey one of those players? And I think that has been the crux of the debate within this last week. Sitsofe doesn't think so. Daniel doesn't even want to entertain the conversation. People didn't like that posture of his, and I could see him going back and forth on social media with some of the fans. But Sitsofe, having engaged in all the debate you've engaged in through this week, what other perspectives has your mind been open to, and where do you you stand still on this particular matter?
Yeah, thanks. I think it is clear that when you play for a football club that has got massive fans, it helps. And in the case of Richmond Lamptey, it is the case because and I think that also recency bias is a very strong thing, and the Richmond Lamptey calls also reaffirms that people don't watch the Ghana Premier League, and I'll explain why I'm saying all these things. And if you heard the soundbite that you played off my voice there, I did say that it's actually very shocking that we are in December, we have an AFCON in January, and we are asking that a player who wouldn't necessarily be a game changer for the Black Stars has to be included in the Black Stars. And I made it clear on social media that unless the player we are talking about is going to be a game changer, is going to walk straight into the team, it doesn't make any sense that when the manager has not worked with him and he hasn't gelled with the squad the whole year, weeks to the tournament, you include him, especially when it's Lamptey in question. And that's with all the respect to Lamptey, but the question is the player, and I'll explain why I'm saying this. And that is what I said there on the show, that I mean, you go into the AFCON, the manager has worked with a lot of players and he has his team set for the AFCON. And so when Danny says that in place of who, in my mind I'm thinking Danny's asking in place of which player that the manager has worked with throughout the whole year, which I absolutely understand. Now I'll ask one question. Now I'll ask all Ghanaians this, and they can reply via our messages, that Inaki Williams has failed to deliver when it's been the Black Star striker. Antoine Semenyo hasn't shown that we can trust him for goals. Are we going to say that Isaac Minta should be called to the Black Stars because those we call from the big clubs have not delivered? Isaac Minta has scored 9 times in the Ghana Premier League, and in fact, in all those big leagues across the world, I just did a cursory check. Minta has scored more than almost all Ghanaians in those top flight leagues. Even has more goals this season than Mohamed Kudus.
Kudus just scored his
seventh. Minta has scored 9 goals.
Yeah.
Minta plays for Adriana Stars, who were only last week leading the league. Why are we not saying that because Iñaki, Semenyo, Jordan, Kudus don't deliver goals with regularity, Minta has to be called to the Black Stars? Because for crying out loud, he's topping the goal scoring charts in Ghana, and he's a Ghanaian. He's playing for Adriana Stars.
So you're saying that the conversation hasn't always been about getting a performing local player.
Yeah.
We're only having the conversation
because of constituencies.
Because he plays for Kotoko.
Because he plays for Kotoko, or that player plays for Hartlepool.
Because you think that players like Felix Che, for example, should also have
I
a shout.
tweeted that Felix Che, we have serious goalkeeping problems.
We do.
Why aren't we pushing Felix Che to be Ghana's goalkeeper, or at least to be given a look in? So why haven't we have this uproar about Isaac Minta? Why haven't we have this uproar about Felix Che? Why are we on the back of that Kotoko and Hearts game having this discussion about Lamptey?
So we haven't had an uproar about Manaf either.
We've not had an uproar about Manaf. We've not done that.
And he's been in superb form.
And he's been brilliant. And we talk about the Black Stars lacking creativity. He's creating chances left, right, center.
He's scoring all kinds of
scoring goals, winning MVP. So if we think that Ghana has a midfield problem, so Lamptey has to go and solve it, how about Ghana's goal scoring problem? What about Isaac Minta? What about Ghana's goalkeeping problem? What about Felix Che? What about Ghana's creativity as a number 10? What about Manaf? Right? So I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that this is not a fair call from fans, because Lamptey is my friend who I talk with.
Is it not also the case that perhaps it's only taking the loud Kotoko fans to make this known, and that if all the other teams had the same kind of fans like the Kotoko fans, we would be having this conversation on a larger scale?
I don't necessarily think so, because I remember when we assembled the Black Galaxies, many people were not happy that Richmond Bued at the time, the captain of Kotoko, wasn't called. And we had this Agadas. And we had this conversation about the Lamptey conversation on the Black Stars, on the local Black Stars. And that time, Lamptey was the teammate of Buedu. But because Buedu was Kotoko's captain, and Buedu was playing well at the time for Kotoko, and even more impactful than Lamptey in that team, the call was for Buedu to be with the Galaxies.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm saying that the team you play also matters, and there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, you need to be good enough to play for a team as big as Kotoko and Hartlepool at this level. It's important. That is why all the players are playing to catch their eye. It is good, but you see, when you are talking about the Black Stars, we have to put that thing aside, because we cannot talk about this out of context. We have to put it in context. The reason why we are saying this is because AFCON is around the corner, and I'm saying that Lamptey, the football we saw Lamptey play against Hartlepool, the football we've seen Lamptey play in Kotoko in the last 4 games that they've won all, it is not different from the football Lamptey has played all year or the last 2 years. I watch Lamptey. I've seen Lamptey a lot of times, and nobody can convince me that the version of Lamptey we are seeing is an improvement of the Lamptey we saw last season.
But maybe with the Black Stars, the standards that existed a few years ago when Lamptey was in the same form.
I'm not going a few years ago. I'm talking about this year. That's what I'm saying.
No, you said. I get your point.
Yes.
No, you said his entire career.
Yes.
The version we're seeing now.
Yes.
No one can convince you it's any different, or it's an improvement of previous version.
No, earlier this year.
I know
what you're going to say, so I'm prepared. Okay. So nobody can convince me that the version you see of Lamptey now it is better than what we've seen earlier this year. So if the same player, we're not calling for his inclusion into this same blaster that we've not seen any difference from the start of the year till the end, what is the difference now? You know why? People don't watch the Ghana Premier League, but they watch Hearts and Kotoko. They don't watch the entire game, but they watch the highlights. And one of the most eye-catching moments of that highlights is Lamptey's pass that opened up that goal that my boy scored, Opon scored. So people jump on it. But if you watch Lamptey every week, if you've seen Lamptey the whole year, you are watching the game and you're thinking, yeah, that's Lamptey. That is how good he is.
But also, to be fair, football is about big moments. Big players creating big moments. He had a big occasion, big player, he created a big moment. So people I think it's only natural
So
that people would gravitate
so
towards
don't
that.
extend it to me that after seeing Hearts and Kotoko play, Lamptey is the best thing you've seen in the Ghana Premier League, because you're talking about midfielders, and he is statistically, performance-wise, numbers, not the best midfielder in the Ghana Premier League. So why is Lamptey the subject? So if you want to have a big conversation about trusting local players, let's not single out individuals. In the case
That's
of
fair.
Lamptey,
So if you're not singling out,
yes,
and you have to have the conversation on a broader scale,
yeah,
given the midfielders we have now
Yeah.
in the Black Stars, are there some players in the local league, in your opinion,
Have you seen
that should
Midamas
have
Musa?
that should have no? Let me finish the question.
Okay.
That should have a shout at being included in this Black Stars team.
So like I said on Monday, Lamptey can be considered, he can be looked at. Have you seen Midiamas Musa?
Yes,
Have you seen Dreams FC's Aziz?
Aziz is having a great season.
But why are we not?
So is Manaf.
Why are we not clamoring for these players? So and that is where my
So that's,
concern
and that
has
is
been.
also part
So-
of why we are having this show, right?
Yeah.
So the ultimate question
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah.
asking right now,
Yeah.
do those players genuinely deserve a shout in your opinion?
They do, and that is they are Ghanaians.
So then, the people that say Lamptey deserves a shout, I don't see what the uproar is about.
No. There are two things.
So because the fact that they're not clamoring for others, and they're not clamoring for others who deserves it,
Yeah.
and they're clamoring for Lamptey, with most of the noise, admittedly, coming from Kotoko fans, you can't fault them for that.
I'm not faulting them for it, but what I'm saying is, and let's not. You see, I like to put all of this in context. This discussion was on the back of Sports Zone,
Yes.
and it was on the back of the question that you asked that.
Should he?
Should he like?
No,
Yeah,
Lamptey
no, the
has
question
to be.
He has to be.
He has to be, and that is it. He has to be. Once we take that premise out, everybody's right. Once we take that context out, everybody is right, because you can mention any Ghanaian player anywhere and the player deserves a shout. He's a Ghanaian.
That's fair.
But once we situate it in the context, then we can begin to make the salient point. So I'm saying that he doesn't have to be in the Blasters. It is not because he cannot be there because of the Hearts and Kotoko game, but he can be considered.
Okay.
But if you want to narrow it down to midfielders, then let's consider our best midfielders, or the best midfielders in Ghana. Is he the best? Are we considering Felix Che? Are we considering Manaf? Are we considering Salif Ibrahim? Are we considering Isaac Minta? Because we lack goals. The guy scored 9.
But also with midfielders, you have several
Types.
types. That's what I was
He's
going to.
very much a number 8.
Yes. In the Black Stars team, how
Yes.
many number 8s do you have?
In the Black Stars team, we've turned
He only has the same.
We've turned to use Pate. We've turned to use Kudus in that place.
You have argued that
Let's use-
Kudu shouldn't be there.
No. So I'm
please.
saying we've turned to use me.
Ah,
If he asks me, Kudus is not in number 8.
Okay,
but
so
in
take
the
him
Black
out of there,
Stars,
yeah.
no, I won't take him. I'm not the coach. I'm not the coach. The coach plays Kudus as number 8. You said me make a take her from it. The coach plays the guy as number 8. He said me Sitsofe go come
For the sake of winning his argument, me put I won't take him there.
I've said it consistently that Kudus at this stage of his career can't be a central midfielder. Ghanaians say he's the most creative element.
So he is.
So he's number 8.
Okay.
If
So-
Share is fit, he competes with Share. Ashimeru. All of them are there.
Yeah, even forcing Amankwa
Forcing
is
them
an
out, but
option.
he doesn't even get a look in.
Mensah has retired, but he would have been an option.
So
right?
that's the case.
Duncan option.
So who is
we
he
have so
better
many.
than in the names I've
Yeah.
just mentioned?
At the moment, though, he doesn't. You see, and for me, that I feel like that is not a fair question to ask. The question about who he is better than.
But that's how they select players. They select the best out of the list. So who is he replacing? I
Oh,
know, perfect.
Sitsofe. Oh, Sitsofe.
Who is he better than? It's a very fair question.
Come
not
on,
necessarily.
Come on.
Not necessarily.
Muftawu, you have 5
You
number
see-
8.
You have five number 8. You have 5 number 8.
Yes.
All number 8. Sometimes, sometimes, people too will look out for other qualities the other players
which makes
bring
you
to the team.
better
So
than the other.
You know,
that's clearly what it is. So
So
if
that's
they are
what
all
I'm
number
saying.
8,
I
No,
think-
Muftawu,
Sitsofe,
no,
please,
let me
please,
what I'm
please,
saying is
please,
simple.
please.
Who is he better than? Who is he a better player than?
Yes,
With
and
all the
I
factors.
said,
With all the factors.
yeah,
so
no,
if you consider all the factors, then that's where the coaches will
hold
now
on.
look on
So
and
I'm
decide.
saying that you've asked a question.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I don't. This is my personal view.
Go on,
I don't think the question is fair because, especially when it comes to the Black Stars, there is no established criteria for selecting players, and we have a history where players have not necessarily been selected because they are the best in certain positions.
Fent.
Hold on. We have that history. So you don't get selected necessarily because you are better than the one starting. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, and I don't think that any.
Hold on.
I don't think that anybody has made the argument that he walked straight into that Black Star starting.
So why are you asking for his inclusion?
It's 23 players.
So what?
He can contribute.
Fent. The
No,
question.
but all the players, the coaches are falling up. Are they all walking to the starting 11?
No. But when the manager has worked with you the whole year.
All right, Daniel.
Look,
if you're not special, your manager was not going to
that's
come
fine.
into the team.
Daniel,
Otoado did not work with Elisha when he brought him into the team.
Look,
he didn't play with the team
the
even
question
one
you
bit.
asked-
In the biggest game of the country to qualify for the World Cup, he came in, he played.
Muftawu, you hold your horses. Let me go to Daniel.
Let Danny come in.
Yeah.
I've got a point on that.
Let me go
I
to
don't want
Daniel.
drag that one.
Daniel is also on that side of the debate where he thinks that we haven't been necessarily been fair with the assessment, and that it's just noise. In fact, he says
Don't do that.
He said don't do that. Yeah, he said we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. DK, I mean, I don't know. I don't have a question for you.
What's the
So
storyline?
just-
Somebody wants to call in.
Just go on. No, I'll announce the phone lines. Don't worry. Today I'll give 15 minutes
Look,
to
the question you asked is where I have a serious problem.
Which one?
That we are at a point where, and especially with the Black Stars, people don't necessarily get called up because they are better than.
There's one starting. So don't misquote me. You don't get called up because you are better than the one starting, but you're good enough to also start if you are considered. Sure.
Okay.
So I'm saying that in the Lamptey case, nobody has said that Lamptey should come and displace Partey or come and take out Kudus or come. No.
It can be a good option.
Yes.
That's
That's why I
fair.
say he can contribute.
Fent. Okay. Let me start by saying that
Okay.
the initial response,
Yes.
and I need to say it because of the trajectory of my submission.
Sure.
The initial response wasn't aimed at Richmond Lamptey, the person or the player.
Obviously. It's
The
not
response
personal.
to your question, for me,
Okay.
and especially for those who have been consistently following my submissions, especially towards this particular topic,
Yes.
was because of a certain tiredness when it comes to this whole conversation. For me, it's getting tiring for me, and that's why I responded the way I responded. So it has nothing to do with Richmond Lamptey, the player. Okay, now proceed. Do we want the best players to play for our national team? Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
In the world of football, there are certain performance indicators and there are certain standards of quality. It is facts.
Yes.
The football
It's
you
not
play
subjective.
in the first division in Slovakia, it's not the same standard as the football you play in the first division in England. They are different
Yes.
because the English have set a certain standard which has been consistent, tested in competitions and been consistent. So you can see why they have that higher standard than the rest, or than Slovakia. Before somebody comes to say when I said the rest, I meant England is better than Spain, then it becomes a whole different argument. So we need to be very honest with ourselves when we are having these conversations.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't like the sneaky politics, especially with Ghanaian football fans. We recognize something until our interest is poked. Then all of a sudden, it becomes somebody not liking you and something else. I don't like that thing. Because white is white, like the beautiful white I'm wearing. And black is black. And if the thing is white, you must say it's white. If it's black, you must say it's black. That is my personal principle. And I won't change. As for me, I won't change. There's a direct correlation, Fent, between the standard of a league and the quality the league produces.
Yes.
It's standard. And consistency with regard to results is a prime indicator of quality. Consistency in regards to results is a prime indicator of quality. So when you are judging a product, if you look at even the way UEFA uses their coefficient rankings, they don't use it season per season. It's over a period.
It's
cumulative because of consistency.
Yeah.
You can't do one fluke season.
You can't do one fluke season and say it is good, or have one poor season and all of a sudden you are bad. No, it has to be over a period of time. So, granted, let's look at the Ghana Premier League over a period and compare it to the competitions that the league is associated with.
Yeah.
Outside, how you measure the quality of the league. Until this year, was it this year? Was the CHAN was last year? This went what? 20 was this year? Yeah.
January.
CHAN was this year.
Until this year, we hadn't qualified for a CHAN for 8 years.
Since 2014. Yeah.
8 years. We were struggling to qualify for the CHAN. For those listening, the CHAN is the AFCON for the leagues, indigenous African leagues.
For locally based players.
Locally based players, simple.
For local players.
That's their AFCON. So the way the AFCON is for every Ghanaian player, so for Black Stars, the local Black Stars team for 8 years couldn't qualify for their AFCON. So take it that the Black Stars couldn't qualify for the AFCON for 8 years. If that had happened to our Black Stars, do you know where we would have been in FIFA rankings? Do you know how it would have affected our quality ranking, our assessment as a national team? So keep that in mind. Local Black Stars have failed to qualify until this year for 8 years. That's the period I'm looking at.
Yeah.
And that is no coincidence. Because when you measure that against the competitions that Ghanaian teams were the competitions where Ghanaian teams were engaged in, CAF interclub competitions, during that time only 3 Ghanaian clubs managed to make it to the group stages of any CAF interclub competitions.
Yeah.
During that 8-year period. Okay, so it is no coincidence that the best of our teams go to Africa and fail, and the best of our players go to Africa and fail to qualify for competitions. It's no coincidence. That is granted, and that is over an 8-year period.
Yeah.
Danny is not talking about last year or just 2 years ago or singling out years. He's talking about a period of time, and a period of time is how you can properly assess what quality looks like. Now, if you go back just after that 8-year period I've spoken about, you go
before
that and go back maybe another 5 or 6 years. Let me even start from 2011-2012, that season, going up until 2015. You look at the performance of Brekum Chelsea in the CAF Champions League. You remember that team?
Yeah, of course. Solomon
Come back, win against Zamalek. Come back to draw against Ali. Brilliant performances. In fact, they missed out on.
They didn't lose to TP over
they
2 leagues.
They lost 1 game, the entire group stages, just one.
Against Al Ali away.
Yes. Following season,
Too many draws cost them.
2 of those players from the Brekum Chelsea team, with a couple, there were 4 local players named in the AFCON squad for 2013. They went to the AFCON. We all saw the performance of Solomon Asante in that AFCON. He was brilliant. He was super. Next year, Ghana goes on to the CHAN final against Libya. Yeah, 2014 against Libya, and we lost. But if you look at that period, it is no coincidence that at least for a 4-year period, and in FIFA we work with 4 years, for a 4-year gap from 2011 up to 2014, we saw consistency. And it wasn't just club, it was our clubs doing well and the national team also doing well. If you even go back previous 4 years to the 2009 CHAN, that was the first time we went to the final. So that is another group or another period of time where we showed consistency, and it showed on all levels of competition. So at that time, Daniel Cranton wasn't angry when they said Solomon Asante should come to the Black Stars. In fact, that was the AFCON that Dedeayu and his brother didn't go to. So Kwesi Appiah could sit down comfortably, cross his legs, and say, if you come, I don't care because I have Solomon Asante. And when Asante came,
he sacked Andre.
He said, go away, Dede. I don't need you.
He was reportedly late to camp. He told him to go back.
Go back home. Next time you wake up early. And then he had Solomon Asante. And for all those who complained, when Solomon Asante stepped on the pitch, we all saw exactly why the manager was justified to tell that boy in France to clear off and bring the boy from Brekum Chelsea, who at the time was playing at a league that had proven its standard of quality.
He was playing
on
in
all
Africa
levels.
as well.
He was playing in Africa and showed why he was good enough. Okay, so now let's focus on this period I'm talking about.
The
And
last
when we are-
5 years.
This last 8 years that I'm talking about, this period that we are talking about. Look, it is not that we've just only 3 Ghanaian teams have qualified to the group stages. So when you look at the manner in which we exit the qualifying rounds, embarrassing. It's almost like when you are paired against a Ghanaian team, you are happy because you know you've qualified. That has almost become the norm. Now in 2023, Ghana, we celebrate when our teams go to group stages of CAF Interclub competition. Now I was a kid in 2005. Okay, those times I used to listen to my uncle, and I've known him since I was a baby. Here
In this very studio.
there was uproar in Ghana when Hassan Kotoko dropped out of CAF qualifying and had to enter Confederation Cup. And at that time, it was like, if you are coming to this competition, then you better win, because that was the standard of the Ghana League then.
And they both went to the
And
final.
they both went to the final, showing their superior quality over everybody.
Yeah.
Because that was the standard at the time.
Madrid and Bayern.
I remember that time I was a football fan. I'm Yakoda, so I remember. And I remember that Hearts of Oak, the first leg was on my birthday. The second leg was a week later on my sister's birthday. So whilst my household, who are full of Kotoko fans, were crying, I was shaking my body because I had just won a Confederation Cup against my father and my brother.
Are you
mother,
saying
and
that
sister.
Mr. Sidney Granton cried?
Oh, he cried! He cried! Look, Tahiru. So you can't go and pick 2005 standard
Narrative, yeah.
and juxtapose it on 2023.
And
Times have
importantly,
changed.
that's why in 2005 we could comfortably, I'm giving you a true pass here,
Thank you.
call Ghana Premier League products. In fact, we called them so much that we called a set teenagers. We called Asawajan around that time
Yeah,
because the standard was that good at that level.
they were that good. Is it not
You understand?
Yasu
Yeah.
who slotted in so seamlessly for Sami Kufo, a Champions League winner, somebody who was playing with Roma at the time.
In a high
Yeah,
pressure
no,
game,
no, no,
we
no.
had to win.
We had to win. He slotted
Yeah,
in seamlessly.
Daniel,
Wait,
you finished for me.
look, I'll finish for you. Look.
Fentuo feel you. I don't know what you could talk.
The thing is, to be honest, the thing is, I don't want to interject. I want him
Yeah,
to
when I
flow
flow, yeah.
because I have so many things to say about what he's saying.
It's a debate. Everybody, I
Exactly.
like
So I don't want to
this
interject
very
and get
intellectual
you
debate. I like it.
confused. So go on.
Look, so now that we have established that consistency with results is a prime indicator of quality. Now I'm not saying, now let's go back to the context of Richmond Lamptey, and that's why I started by saying what I said. That reaction I gave wasn't to Richmond Lamptey the player, but after assessing the quality that the Ghana Premier League has produced over the years, I don't think this league alone has enough credit to produce players who are national team worthy. And when I say national team worthy, I'm talking about the ideal situation. I'm not talking about the situation where even Edmond Addo is playing, so why can't this person play? No. The ideal situation where if we're a serious country and we sit down and we have a proper plan and we choose the best players available, playing in the best leagues, who have proven their quality at the highest level, and we are choosing those players. That's where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I'm not coming from this person has sat on the bench the whole season and he is playing, so why can't this one to come and play?
You're
That's
saying
not-
that we have generally dropped the standard,
We've dropped
but we
it.
shouldn't.
We shouldn't.
Yeah.
In the ideal situation, that is what I'm looking at. Now, I just have 3 examples. Quickly. Barnier. When they said we should choose Barnier, me, Hearts of Oak, you see, their document, the Hearts of Oak fans were blasting me. You remember, we had a show back at the other side. Me, I said that I like the boy. He's my boy. He's a Hearts of
not
Oak boy.
ready.
He's not ready. That's not his standard. That's not his level. If I was the coach, I won't take him. Then they took him anyway.
There was uproar among the House of Oak fans. It was just like this. to
Just
be
like
fair,
this.
Because the House of Oak fans said, how can the best player, the captain of our under 20, under 23 be sitting
I
at
said play
home?
for a big
They
team.
made noise and they
Play
took
for
the
a
boy.
big team.
Thank you. Friends, me, I said that, Boga, the guy, I know he's not ready. They took him anyway.
We are here.
We are here. He went
He's
to
not
Zurich.
ready.
He had to spend a whole year in the Zurich B team. and the Zurich head coach said something about him. One, I've put it in the pocket. I've put it in my pocket. Fatah Isaaku, who, and I'll use the term again, he bossed the Ghana Premier League.
He did
for a few months.
This matter I've said it before.
Left to Sporting CP. Hey, the best under 20 player in Africa has gone to Sporting CP. He spent the whole year playing for Sporting CPB stroke under 19. Ruben Amorim, the head coach of Sporting Lisbon, said something. Kojo Opoku, the Kotoko striker, no, the one who did this one like
Kwame Poku,
Mo Farah's guy, no, and the guy who does his celebration like Mo Farah. He scored 7 goals in the Ghana Premier League. Ghana, yes, striker, papa. When I watched it, I say, yeah. In fact, remember that brace against Liberty Professional? I say, what a player! Damn, Fabio Gama and this guy. They picked him to Black Stars. I said at that time, I said the same to no. I said, boy, no, Charlie, you don't reach. That one too, because of fans say I don't like the player. That's why. I said, okay, cool. He no sit up in Black Stars. He went to USM Algiers. Didn't cut it there. Was loaned to for instance, Saudi 2nd division.
Yeah.
Now he's playing in Morocco 2nd division. Okay. The thing the Zurich head coach said, and the thing
2nd division. So after the league,
yeah, they are division.
Yeah, division. So okay,
yeah,
so second tier.
Yeah, second tier.
My heart cuts more
in Saudi 2nd tier Morocco.
Where Peter Motimane was.
Yes. Ruben Amorim said something about Fatah Isahaku, which was along the lines of what the Zurich head coach said about Barnier. He said the guy is talented, but he's raw. The demands of modern day football are different. You can't depend on just talent. He lacks basics and he needs to be retrained. I used this example when I was talking about our grassroots football system here in Ghana. And the fact that the best of our players will go there to Sporting CP, not anywhere, not England or anything, or Portugal. And Portugal, that Portugal are one of the best when it comes to grooming talent. So they know what they are talking about. And then he says this about our player. It tells a lot on us. Now, if guys like Fatah Isahaku and Barnier and Co left this country as the best players, Fatah Isahaku genuinely was top 3 best players. Sitsofe has said brilliant submission on why even in the position that Lamptey is playing, it is very arguable that he is not the best. Okay. If the guys who were even the best have gone over this short period of time and consistently proven that they are not good enough when they raise the standard, then it goes to prove my point that the Ghana Premier League alone cannot be enough for you to judge the quality of a player. Now, why I'm saying this, I'm not saying that there's zero quality in the Ghana Premier League. Oh. Do you understand? I'm not saying that when you look at the league, it means everybody has. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, for example, if, and it is a fact, an under 19 competition, it's not enough for, let's say, if Real Madrid want a player, an under 19 competition is not enough body of work for Real Madrid to pick you. It doesn't mean that a player from that competition can't go on to play for Real Madrid. What it means is that after Madrid watches him there and they probably pick him, that they have their eye on him, they'll test him elsewhere. So they'll bounce him off. That's why you see big teams buying and loaning them just to test and see if the guy is ready for their standard. That's what happened. That's what I'm saying. So when I made that remark, that why wouldn't you talk about a Dreams FC or a Midiama player, referring to Musa and Abdulaziz, who play in similar positions but have been tested this season in Africa and have proven to be good on that level, at least for now. They've played how many games? 4 qualifying games plus 4 three group games. 7. Have a body of works of 7 games. Maybe if you add that to the Ghana Premier League, you can make an argument. But even that, personally, for me, is a stretch. Now, a very critical thing that Sitsofe said, it is 1 month to an AFCON. We were last in our group at the last AFCON. Those who are telling me that the standard of the Black Stars has dropped, so because of that, isn't it better for us to go and pick some people who are like Lamptey in this league that personally I believe doesn't have quality? Okay, if England were struggling with their national team, and listen to what I'm saying, no, Grealish is doing well for Man City, Foden is doing well for Man City, Hurricane is doing well for Bayern, Maguire is doing well for Man U, but when they come to England, they are not performing. So Southgate says that I'm going to the championship to go and take players, because when players come to my national team, they don't succeed. That's the base. That's what you are telling me.
No,
Relax.
it's a hypothetical situation.
Partey is doing well at Arsenal.
He doesn't cut his
Kudus is doing well at West Ham. Jordan is performing at Crystal Palace. These guys are doing well at their clubs. Yet when they come to the national team, they are not doing well. So the argument is that we should go for players who are in a lower level of quality in terms of standard and bring them in place of competition and bring them in place of those guys. That's not how we solve the problem. Oh. That's not how we solve the problem.
How do you solve the problem?
How we solve the problem is to fix our damn league. Force the GFA. We are sleeping and we only wake up when there are big competitions on hand and start pushing our players there. That's what we do. Look, fix the league. Because for Morocco, at the World Cup, Mazraoui got injured. He plays for Bayern Munich. Atala, one of my favorite left backs on the continent, who plays for Wydad, slotted in seamlessly. I watched him live in Morocco against Ali. The guy is quality because the Morocco league is quality.
You see, the argument. As for the argument about the league, there is no other way to have it. There's no other way to have it. Nobody can lie to us that the league is quality. Absolutely not.
The final sort that they add to the mix is within this same period that he's actually very well described that he hasn't been successful for the league and our local teams. We have actually picked some of our best players and invited them to the Black Stars. Fence, they didn't make the cut. We saw Ibrahim Imoro. He was the best left back in Ghana. He played for the Black Stars. He no work.
He played for the Black Stars where?
Huh? He played here at Class Post. You forget?
Against Atsirim.
You know that's Pasman name Corey. You forget?
Is that not Abalora?
In Abalora they play a combination. And you forget? Abalora was keeping clean sheets, left, right, back, center, sending penalties.
On that point,
he was the best goalkeeper in Ghana. He didn't make the cut.
On that
Ganiu, Kotoko's captain. Kosa. He didn't make the cut.
You see, no. On that point, this is what I have to say. In the Black Stars, we have seen players giving countless opportunities when they have struggled. We haven't dumped them. You just made a very good example at the beginning. Inaki Williams, we didn't drop him after one bad game.
Should I tell you why?
Neither did we drop him after two bad games. So, but the local boys, that's what we did.
Should I tell you why?
The local boys, we dropped them after one bad game.
I'll tell you because Ibrahim. It was so simple to throw him out. You know why? The time that he was playing for Kotoko and the Kotoko fans and all Ghanaian fans were saying that he's the best left back, let's play him. He left Ghana 4 months after. If Lamptey leaves Ghana today and goes to Algeria, nobody will mention his name and should be called to the Black Stars. That's what happened to Ibrahim. Abalora, after he made those mistakes in the Black Stars and then he went to Sheriff Tiraspol, nobody called for his inclusion.
Only Listowell.
No, so I'm saying that those players, if they had any level of consistency with their teams, maybe the narrative would have been different. Right. But when you leave the shores of Ghana, the house fans, that's why I started with that premise, and the Kotoko fans, and the teams with the masses, nobody will be calling for you like they are calling for Lamptey and Manaf.
Yeah, okay, very well. Daniel, the points that you made, I agree with you on the last part about the fact that our league is absolutely horrible. And the people who are in charge of the league need to fix the fundamentals in this league. Our league, it is not a coincidence that some of our most successful periods in this country in terms of our football, not even just about the performances of the national team, but has been the times when our clubs, when our football has been at its pinnacle. It's been at the time when
our local football.
Yes, it's been at times when our local football is absolutely thriving. So there's no doubt about that. So if anybody wants the entire football ecosystem to come back to its best and serving the purpose for which we preach all the time, then we need to fix our local football. It's a massive economy that has collapsed, and I agree with that. And it's not just about even the quality of the players we are producing or the quality of the football clubs and their performances in Africa. It's about every other thing surrounding our football. The national team alone is not enough to create a thriving football economy in this country. And I agree 100%. I feel like the periods you spoke about, I think for every national team or for every football country, there are inconsistent performances in between every period. There are. Because the 2000 to 2013 period that you spoke about, or even 2009, 2010, 2011, up to the 2014 when we made 2 CHAN finals. In between, we made a CHAN tournament where we finished bottom of our group with the same crop of players. So you understand that, and at that period, there was not a time when anybody was shouting that our league is so bad, because Daniel has just said that at that time our league was doing so well. Yet we went to Chan and we finished bottom of our group in 2011 with the same crop of players. So that inconsistency is there. So I'm also now saying that at this current period, where we are crying so much about the league being so poor, in the last 8-year period that Daniel spoke about, this year is the best moment in club football in terms of performances in Africa in the last 8 years. This year, where we have 2 clubs playing in the group stages of CAF Interclubs competition. In the last 8-year period that Daniel spoke about, that we have been so poor, this current period is when we are at a level that we haven't been in those last 8 years. 2 clubs are playing in the group stages of CAF competition and they are doing well. We haven't finished the group stages, but nobody can say they've started poor. Thank you. So far,
Lobito have lost all their matches.
Daniel, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you see, but they are in opposition. The Dreams FC didn't ask them to come to their group. Thank you.
No, I'm saying that
I get you. No, I get you. So I'm also saying that if Daniel's argument is that in periods when the local league has been doing well, and the science or the measurement for their doing well has been their performances in Africa, then at this period, it is fair to say the league is at a time when our individual clubs are doing well. And that is why I think, for example, the point that you made earlier about making an argument for other players other than just Lamptey, that's where I support that. That there are players who are playing in the local league for clubs that have moved to Africa and are doing well in Africa, thereby, by Daniel's own index, are doing well and competing with the very best on the continent.
But that's not entirely what I said. Consistent. I didn't say just
but hold on. No, but there's no guarantee. But there's no guarantee that this is also a one-off.
No, I know. But I have
so this could be the beginning of a great period.
We use the one where the chant where we finished bottom as an inconsistency within my consistent period.
Yes.
But you are using an inconsistency within an inconsistent.
No, but you say no. That you say, but
consistent period of poor results.
The difference is that this is at the latter point, and there is no guarantee that next year we'll be back to the period of last year.
Yes, but it's a body of work that proves how good something is. If a player springs up in the Slovakian second division and scores 50 goals, are you going to call him right now? He's playing in Slovakia 50.
But we have done that. We do that.
That's what I'm saying. In the ideal situation, any serious national team will not do that. It's not we've done it before, so let's do it. So we've called Edwin Jimmy. That guy who sat for the 27 years.
But you're currently doing it with another player.
27 years.
You're currently doing it with other players. No, I'm not saying that. I remember when Festive was coming back. So I'll finish. People actually said that he's good enough to be on the bench at the technical man. So I'll finish by saying that, listen, I understand the calls from certain quarters, because we are at a period in our national team history where perhaps we are experiencing the worst Black Stars team we have seen since that 98 to 2000 team. And that 98 to 2000 team, the only way we managed to fix our national team and start the rebuild from 2001 onwards was that we made a bold decision ahead of AFCON 2001 to drop the so-called foreign-based players who were playing for big clubs and performing at those clubs. We made that decision. I'm not saying that is a decision we should make now, but I'm saying that we should be open to the conversation.
Why can't we even make that decision now?
Because in between 98 and 2000, when CK Akono was Black Stars captain, they dropped him along with so many other big players who were playing in Europe ahead of the 2001 AFCON. And the 2001 AFCON, they even went to the tournament and dropped further big players who were players who had even won the Champions League that season. This year, the season before, none of our current players has ever won the Champions League, and yet a Champions League winning player was sacked from Black Stars camp, and yet no Ghanaian stood up and said you've done a bad thing.
Which players replaced them?
Yes. You know that 2000. You know that 2002.
From which teams?
How to folk.
That
Emmanuel Oseko for
whole
all
team was doing what on Africa, on African
in
continent?
2002, what were they doing? They won the Champions League in 2000, and then they won the Confederation Cup in 2005. In 2002, they were doing well. No doubt about it.
You don't have to win the Champions League every year.
No. I'm saying that. No, you said that. You asked what they were doing. They were doing well.
Yes.
Just as we
And
have.
winning GPL back to back.
No problem.
Yes, they're
Just
GPL back to
just
back.
as we have other clubs doing well now. They're also playing in Africa. So please relax. Relax for me. Relax for me.
Okay.
Relax for me.
I'll carry this
Okay.
point. One day when we are doing debate about
Relax for me.
Midiama 2023 and how to
Debate
fuck
today.
2000, I'll say that. You said that.
I didn't say they were. I didn't say.
You said they are all doing well.
But they're doing well. So right now we should say Midiama are doing poorly.
No.
Right now we should say Midiama are doing poorly.
Equating what House of Folk were doing
Then to what Midiama are doing now.
You see, you people, you like cutting corners.
It's not
I'm
cutting
saying,
corners. I want
listen,
to cut
I'm
you
saying
because
that.
you are going somewhere
No. But I'm saying the argument I'm making is that, and it remains valid, whether House of Folk were better then or Midiama are doing well now. The point I'm making is that we have previously made a bold decision to drop so-called foreign-based players who were playing for big clubs, including a Champions League winning player, and went to the AFCON. We got kicked out in the quarterfinal, but no Ghanaian cried because exactly 4 years after that rebuild started, we qualified for our first ever World Cup.
With which players? Still look
With the players but with the players we started with.
So you are thinking that if you kept that policy, the so-called big players, let's not invite
The policy
them.
is no, Sitsofe, you are oversimplifying. The policy is not called only. The policy here, the argument here is not called only local players. No.
But you are hyping them. But that's what he just said. That you drop so-called.
When I said drastic,
Okay.
I meant dropping the players who were deemed undroppable. That's what I mean drastic. It doesn't mean
drastic the local ones.
It doesn't mean not only local ones. 2002 when we went to the AFCON and dropped all those key players, we didn't replace all of them with only local players. So that's not the point I'm making.
Go on.
So I'm saying you are oversimplifying the matter.
A general rebuild.
A general rebuild. And at this point, if anybody tells you that our team doesn't need a rebuild, they are lying to you.
No, but my only point
But
is,
even
friends, if I
since
can come.
AFCON last year, Milo said the team needs surgery.
Thank you.
The team rebuild.
Now we've been rebuilding actually for the last 4 years.
We have been going in circles in the
Siki
name of
Akono.
rebuilding.
There's a clip where the exclusive Benedict did with Siki Akono at some place, some summer hats. I believe it's his house or
That was
something.
his
Yeah,
house.
his house.
That's his house. He used the word rebuild in that interview. Yeah. The coaches since have all used the word rebuild.
In fact, Kwesi appeared since 2017.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. 2017. In fact, a lot of Ghanaian fans will tell you that this rebuild has been taking too long because of systemic issues. They'll tell you that the common denominator is that there's a general belief that this rebuild is not happening because there's too much interference, or that even if there's no interference, the fact is that we are not calling players on merit who should be part of that rebuild. And so Sitsofe says his choice of words is that we have been going around in circles, and that's what it is. Now, in the context of that rebuild, we said Chris Hughton was good for the job because he was in a unique position where he had been part of the previous one.
Yes.
He will be able to carry on the job from the context of knowing who the good players are, who the players who need dropping are, and those who need not be called at all are.
And after his first game, we praised him for having balls.
So we expected continuity with that. But for some reason, or for some reasons, the football has not been good. Even when we have gotten results, they have not been convincing. So, the argument by a lot of people is that, with that in mind, the bar has been dropped so much, so low that
Right now, a baby
Players-
can jump over it.
that a baby can jump over the bar. If it was high jump, you know high jump.
Yes, of course.
If it was high jump,
That's right.
a baby would have been able to jump.
Guys, I don't want to cut you.
Yeah, but you have cut me.
I've cut you.
So,
Fatah Odaura, who has been part of this Black Stars team, I spoke to him.
he's not been part of this team.
No, but he's been part of the national team.
So say that.
In fact, just recently,
The thing is English.
Just recently, Sika Ekuno called him. He was there.
Which one?
Just recently, when Sika Ekuno was the coach of the Black Stars, he called him. We went and played Sudan. He was in the
2019.
no 2021.
Oh, yeah. He was playing for Legon City.
He was in the post. He said he's been part of the senior national team, and watching the Black Stars from afar, what he thinks is that the current crop of players, they lack character to play for a national team.
Thank you, Muftawu. Finish up for me.
Wow. So thank you for that true pass.
Yes.
It's a very important true pass.
It is. That's where you were going.
That's where I was going. You see,
KDV.
on you see KDV, this is a KDV pass. He lay out for me. Now make a play my finesse.
Yes.
Into the
Right now.
So this one, should I shoot or should I chip or Panenka?
We have reached a point where I can genuinely say,
Finish him. You see, so for me, it's that character thing, and the reason why I would agree a bit with those calling on the Lamptey and the 1-2 is that I am of the opinion that in this 2023, we probably need a bit more character than talent in the Black Stars.
I agree 100%. More character than talent.
I agree with everything Danny has said. I agree with everything Sitsofe has said.
Yeah.
My feeling is that, but what the way people say it on the street is that these people don't know what it means to wear the shirt, and I'm sure you've heard that.
Yes.
Whether it is that they don't understand what it means to wear the shirt. In fact, our Nigerian brothers, there's a huge argument in Nigeria
as well.
And I've spoken to you about this before, that in the last 4 years, and it's happening in certain national teams, that certain African countries have taken the easy and the lazy approach toward populating their national teams, in that they don't want to do the hard and organic work of blooding youthful players who would understand what it means to be hungry, to play at Pram Pram, to play at Muji Park, Sakura Park, and things. We are all doing, and this is a Ghana and Nigeria thing, and some of the other African countries, that when the players now come, you see, they are half Nigerian, half English, half Ghanaian, half Spanish, half this, half Ghanaian, half this. They don't get what it means.
They don't.
Now, even if you look at our Black Stars first 11 right now, it is no coincidence. When I was coming and you started, you mentioned that, and Sitsofe has said it again, Danny has also said it, we are having a crop of players who are mind-bogglingly, and I'm talking about our starting 11.
Yeah, very talented.
Look, there is no reason why AFCON should start today, 29 days to
And we
go.
are not one of the favorites.
And we are not one of the favorites, but it is not clicking. That is why I'm a bit cautious. I know all about what Sitsofe is saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I was practicing when Emmanuel Bafo was a thing.
Yeah.
Who the guy Emmanuel Bafo?
Top scored in the group stages.
Clotte, Emmanuel Bafo. Every season there was a player like that. There was Gau when he came for his second coming. He was doing well at Dreams. So there's a whole raft of players like that.
Yeah.
When they get in there for some reason, let me just learn. I think that with this particular Black Stars, and I've not seen this in any Black Stars in about
in your entire life.
in 15-20 years.
Okay.
The lack of character in this team is
disturbing.
Look, it's Baba hazing me.
Hey, Gary.
I say it is Baba hazing me.
Daddy, Baba hates.
It's Baba haze. Look, it is dizzying me. And that is why I think that maybe this Emmanuel Richmond Lamptey,
You are flummoxed.
I'm flummoxed. You understand? You see, I am discombobulated. Patrick Akoto, thank you very much. No, so and that's why I know that look, getting into the Black Stars and playing at AFCON, it takes a certain amount of guts and things.
Yeah.
But what our boys they do this year, and I'm talking 2023 in particular, Charlie, if you put this Manaf and Lamptey and TSE there,
so bad,
you understand? I don't think that it will be too hard for them to play. So I get that.
Let me tell you, the point you want to make is that Manaf and Lamptey cannot do poorly. Cannot do worse
than what we are seeing.
Thank you.
They
can't do worse than
we ball Kudus play for 2023 Black Stars. We ball Pate play 2023 Black Stars. Ashimeru.
Even Peso, he just scored his one.
No. The best players we have had in Black Star. The best game Ashimeru said he played. That Asamaja was ranting. Which it be that one way. It be that one way. When a Ghana Premier League was go do.
Why Gary asks you say, if Hurricane, Maguire, Trippier are not doing well for England, and Gareth says that because they don't do well for England from when they come from their big teams, he's going to look for championship players. Like, would they adapt for you?
So let me answer that. Let me answer that.
Gary, go on.
For a few shaggy reasons, me this season I have watched the championship quite a bit.
Yes.
It's been one of the best championships ever. Leicester City, Fatal is Leicester City,
yes.
And Ipswich Town.
Yeah.
They did the top two there.
Yes.
The ball then they play.
So you pick them over Hurricane?
No. You said if they are not playing well.
Yes.
The ball. They
play well for Bayern. They play well for Manchester. They play well for Newcastle. But when they come to wear the England jersey, ahead of the Euros,
And they are poor.
ahead of the Euros,
Please land.
ahead of the Euros, you say Hurricane has scored 30 goals for
No,
Bayern.
you set a precedent.
But when it comes to
set a premise. You
Yes.
said if Hurricane and things know they perform.
yes, in England,
In England.
in England,
To you.
Yes.
But they will do it.
And
If they are not performing, they will do it.
And I'll put
But
it
if they are
to
not performing, you take them.
I am putting it to you.
So why is that Germany, Kai Havertz, Gundogan, Rudiger, Neuer, all of them don't perform? But there's
You see, and that is this year. No, that is this year.
it's been 3 years. Germany have not played.
Okay.
He said this year.
That is the current generation.
Germany have not played football well since 2018. You are saying this year.
That is the current generation. When they did that reboot, they did exactly what I'm telling you.
Who?
They dropped all
did that.
They dropped the whole.
They dropped who?
They dropped who?
They don't play over 30 years.
Didn't they have Jerome Boateng?
This is Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM and hits 103.9 FM. Your messages are welcome. 05511111997. We will take phone calls right after this. Okay, we're taking a very, very short commercial break. We'll take some phone calls after this. The number, keep it in line, 0302 216 541. 0302 541 and 055 1111997. 055 1111997. The numbers to call. In fact, there's 3 of them. Let me give you a couple more. There's 030 221 6541. 030 221 6541. Another one is 055 1111997. 055 1111997. And then there is 0302 216 541. You can leave us a message on that 05511 on WhatsApp as well. Also on Twitter, the hashtag is GamePlan. We'll be right back.
Welcome to December Joy, where the joy of Christmas lives.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
We kicked it off with a grand finale of the Joy FM Loyal Listener promo, where Sarah Agbe emerged the most loyal listener of Joy FM 2023 with an all-expense-paid trip to Dubai.
The Joy Christmas Hour with Doreen Andor goes live on air from the 11th through to the 22nd of December. Stay tuned for all the details. And then comes the Joy FM Festival of 9 Lessons and Carols at the Labadi Beach Hotel on the 17th of December. Make sure you get an invite.
Come the 18th of December, we will bring you the festive edition of the Health and Wellness series. You don't want to miss our special Christmas Day broadcast, where hot meals will be dispatched to the homes of some families who really need it.
And yes, we are family. I'm bad at singing, so help me. You surely must be at the Joy FM Family Party in the Park on the 26th of December 2023 at the Ibri Botanical Gardens. It will be a big, joyous family affair. We have you truly covered this Christmas. Christmas is joy.
And joy is Christmas. We wish you a joyous Christmas.
So if you're listening to us on 103.9 Hits FM, This is Game Plan on 99.7. This is Joe FM. The show is brought to you by Petrosol. Every drop matters, just as every penny counts. And you have to be aware that good quality fuel enhances your vehicle performance and reduces maintenance costs. So take no risk in times like this. All you need is value for your money. Look no further. Drive to the next Petrosol fuel station for your clean, accurate quantity fuel suitable for new technology vehicles. Be a happy customer, fill with smiles, drive more miles and save some money. Petrosol, your clean quality fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. The Goals Are Not to Blame is back. Okay, at the National Theatre, by popular demand, we are bringing it back. 3 weeknights only, Monday, December 18, Tuesday, December 19, and Wednesday, December 20th. Gather your friends and family for an amazing theatrical experience at 7 p.m. each night. It's 150 Ghana cedis only. Just go to imagebureaugh.com, or if you want a ticket, dial star 711 star 11 star 25 hash. Star 711 star 11 star 25 hash, or call 055 999 3659 to enjoy your family or group packages. The Goals Are Not to Blame is supported by Joe FM, Hits FM, Joy Prime, Daily Guide, Graphic News Plus, and directed by our very own George Quay. Let me also tell you about Volta Hotel and Dodi World Akosombo. If you're looking for a perfect way to celebrate this Christmas, look no further. Volta Hotel Akosombo offers a fantastic vacation destination for people seeking relaxation, comfort, and a break from the bustling life in the city. The Volta Hotel, of course, also operates and manages Dodi World, Ghana's unique aquatourism destination experience, offering a unique package of adventure, live entertainment, fun, history, and education on board the MV Dodi Princess 2. This Christmas, the Dodi Princess 2 will cruise you and your loved ones every day from the 23rd of December to 2nd of January with a special end-of-year night cruise party on 30th December 2023, and that's from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. Danny K is going with Mrs. with an after party at the Adwa nightclub. Charlie,
Good, man.
yeah, you feel
Yeah,
good,
feeling
man.
good.
All right, so
feeling good, man.
yeah. So for all corporate institutions, families, individuals, this Christmas, it's for you to experience the magic of the Dodi World cruises. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Get in touch with us for bookings and enquiries. Just go to send us an email, sales@voltahotel.com.gh, or if you prefer phone, just call us 0544 357705, 0544 357705, or 050 142 1977. Let me also tell you, of course, about Efia. She's performing this week. In fact, it's on the 23rd. That's next Saturday. Next Saturday, Efia is performing live at the Accra International Conference Center. This electric concert by Efia brings you an unforgettable night featuring a star-studded lineup of Ghanaian artists and thrilling performances. Tickets are going for 200 Ghana cedis normal, 350 for VIP, and 500 for VVIP. Okay, just dial star 714 star 600 hash. Star 714 star 600 hash to buy your tickets. All right, the partners are Live Connect and Gingham Entertainment. Media partners are Joy FM and Joy Prime. If you want more information, just call 05577 10,000. 05577 10,000 and enjoy. Speaking about theatre, join the ICGC Zoe Creative Arts Ministry for another intriguing stage play titled In the Mind of Abba. And that's a play that explores the decisions and thoughts of most young women concerning their relationship, careers, and lifestyle. So let's take a walk through the mind of our subject and examine the pressures on her as she turns another chapter in her life. This drama, of course, is on this Sunday, 17th of December 2023. The venue is ICGC Zoe Temple, Community 5, Tema. Time is 6 p.m. and the rate is free. Come along as we go through the mind of Abba, of course. And get ready for another exciting and memorable time with the family as we bring you another fun-packed edition of the Joy FM Family in the Park. All right, it's happening. It's a party in the park, yeah? Family party in the park. It's set in the Bree Botanical Gardens. Kwabena will be there. Efia will be there. Kwampa will be there. We have other surprise guests for you. It's on the 26th of December, Boxing Day, at the Bree Botanical Garden. It starts at 10 a.m. And of course, Daddy's High Life and Beer Corner is returning this year with a bang. Tickets are going for a cool 200 Ghana cedis for a family of 6. All right. If you want a ticket, call 055 96 91797 or just dial star 714 star 003 star 3 hash. Star 714 star 003 star 3 hash and select Party in the Park, opt for the family park, confirm number of tickets and wait for the prompt to make payment. It's really that simple. We're doing this in partnership with Fortune Rice, Enterprise Life, Petrosol, Syntex Tank, Safari Tissue, Niche Cocoa, Kiki Drinks and Less Fortune. Joy FM Family Party in the Park, creating family moments. All right, memorable family moments. All right, I'll tell you more about some more products here on the show. Game Plan on 99.7 Joy FM, hits 103.9 FM as well. But I'm going to take phone calls as I promised, I think for the next 10 minutes or so, because people have to have a say on this. So the phone numbers are active now. Jojo is standing by to pick your phone calls. 0302 216 541, 0302 216 541 or 055 1111 997, 055 1111 997 as well. Your messages are also welcome. 055 1111 997. That's our WhatsApp number as well. You can call the same number as well. All right, let's go to Claude. Claude is our first caller in Tema. Claude, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Yes, Claude, go ahead, but be brief for me.
Yes, I think my.
Very well, Claude. All right, that's Claude in Tema. Let's go to Isaac James in Legon. Isaac, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine, Fentuo. How are you too? And all the brothers over there?
I'm very well. Go ahead.
In fact, the way, I was on the line for over 6 days and you hung me about it. The way you guys diagnose our problem in Ghana football and then you prescribe an orthodox medicine to solve our problem. But our problem is when the handlers of our football take your diagnostic and your prescription, they throw the prescription away and they go around. When they hear a prophet advertising, oh, come with your sick, we are having a crusade, come with your sick, and then they will send the blind and send the lame. That is exactly what the handlers of our football is doing. Instead of them listening to whatever you have diagnosed and take the prescription and do exactly that, they go around beating about the bush. That is why we are suffering as a country. And if they will listen, it will help us. If not, I think we have to collapse all the football handlers and then set up a new football association so that we can move on. Because with this kind of attitude and character, we are not going anywhere.
Thank you very much. That is Isaac James in Legon. He says we are relying too much on orthodox.
He said the people should listen to Game Plan.
Yes. I heard that part now.
That's not what he said.
Yes. Okay, fine.
Fentuo, focus.
Yes, I'm focused. You're not paying attention. Okay.
Football prophet.
Charlie, we will take the show from you. What do you do?
Okay.
The guy don't say what.
That's fair. Let's go to Apia in Teshinungwa Estate. Apia.
Yeah.
Go on.
Thanks. I beg. First of all, I talk say that you can't hear. He carry analysis go marry. So definitely all what they talk about, the inclusion of Lamptey and the other players into the Black Stars setup. Me, I know they get what they talk. The fact we say is Black Stars having a problem in the midfield. Thank you. Answer me. Do you have problem?
We have problems everywhere in this team.
But actually, when you check the midfield and the defense, there is a problem.
Yes, we are conceding
if we have a local player who can help us solve that problem, what is the problem with not inviting the local player? Remember that Lamptey and then Atsirim, they were all in
Wafa together, yes.
Wafa team. And Lamptey was doing very well before Atsirim went outside. So if he can solve the problem that we have in the midfield, currently if you look at our midfield, it's like it's saturated with right-footed player. People who say Kudus is a midfielder now, they actually don't understand football. Now Kudus has proven that he is an attacker, and that is what he's doing in West Ham. Why do we add Kudus to the midfield whilst he's not actually doing the midfield work?
Very well. That's up here in Teshi Nungwa. My good friend Christopher Nimley just sent me a message. Today, by the way, is his birthday. And he shares a the international analyst. Wait. That's not all. He shares a birthday with his wife. Hey! So Numo Nimley. Oh, damn. Happy birthday.
That's a very smart way of doing things, because he reduces costs. Just like my friend B, who married on his birthday.
Hey, are you serious?
He married on his wife's birthday, so he won't chop them.
Anniversary no day, birthday no day.
Thank you, we all be one.
It's true, because my birthday is June. My wife's birthday is July. I tried to marry in June. She said no. Let me take Mark in time. Mark, sorry about that. Mark, go ahead now.
Okay. What I want to do is they put their effort in the game. So let's try and collapse this team and let's form a local players team. That will help our team to go forward.
Mark, thank you. So Mark is saying the local players are hungrier. Christopher Nimley's message is this. He says, it's all about the standard required to compete at the Black Stars level. Lamptey and co are just not what is required to perform at the Black Stars. We should be discussing and telling the managers of the Black Stars to patch up the differences they have with players like Duncan, Bernard Mensah and Schlopp. Lamptey is not there yet. The question, Christopher, is the players that we have right now and the ones that you just mentioned, what step of difference in quality exists between them? So, my personal view is that I don't necessarily think that the players we have lack quality. I think it's a character issue. Let's go to Nana Kwesi in Medina. Nana?
Hello.
Yes, Nana, go ahead.
While we focus on the issue, we can't speak the process. That's what we are not getting. You can't speak the process. You can't start from 1, jump to 5 and 10 and expect different results. When we do, or let's say we do all the things right, we get the fundamentals right, we are producing results. Now we should be ready to spend, because no good coach comes at a cheaper price now, and we are not ready to spend that money to get good coaches. Let's take that side too. And then I plan to, you said some prayer last time ago. I think almost a month now. Yeah, I recorded that prayer. Anytime mommy and madam want to worry me to wake up and pray, I'll just put it on play. Up to now, they are thinking, they just don't understand what I'm trying to do with them. They listen and they don't understand what you are saying. But after, thank you, congratulations.
Thank you very much, Nana Kwesi in Medina. Let's go to Sowa. I believe this is my good friend James Sowa. James.
Yeah, friend.
It's you. All right, James, go ahead.
Charlie, good afternoon, to you guys.
We salute.
Well, the first time I think I side with Daniel Cranton on his earlier submission. Look, anybody who has followed the Premier League holistically will know that the standard has fallen. And this is not the time we need to be even calling for the inclusion of Lamptey. Start with them here. The Lamptey that broke out at the Wafa team is not the Lamptey that we are even witnessing now. His best performance in the local scene was in 2021 season when he was playing for Inter Allies, and statistically he managed just 3 goals in 30 matches. So a lot of people watched highlights and they saw that piercing pass he gave for that led to Master Santi Kotoko's goal, and they jumped on the wagon. Yes, because Kotoko has the following, they will make noise for him. I don't think currently we have any midfielder who merits the Blacks, the senior national team at the moment. If for anything at all, we should be calling Manafuma. He has been superb since last season. Even across the folks, even at RTU, he did marvelously well for them last season. So I think we need to drop that Lamptey call now. It's not yet time.
All right, interesting. All right, I'll go to Bedroom Pep Guardiola in La Paz. He'll be our last caller, and then we'll read some messages as well and wrap up here on the show. Bedroom Pep.
Yeah.
What's your real name?
I'm Prince.
I say I'm fine. Oh, you're Prince. Oh, yeah. Prince. Okay, Charlie. Okay. Go ahead.
So I just wanted to suggest it. Most of the time, you guys waste time on this local news too much. You spend almost 2 hours. You can do it
1 hour 30 minutes or something. Then we like this one, but I prefer the foreign segment. So maybe you can also do the foreign segment also. Do you understand? Because I think we've wasted all your time on the local, and we some of us are not interested. Because anytime I watch the amateur, I don't see why I should waste my time watching this football.
All right, Prince, that's fine. That's fair, Prince. Thank you. Prince called to complain that he doesn't like it when we talk about Ghana football. Now,
this one local. This is Black Stars.
He said it's local football.
Black Stars is local football.
The Ghana football we are talking about, he's not interested.
Charlie, standards. I did they make racist standards.
Anyway, let me read some messages on Twitter. This one says this is from Heck98. He says the GPL is the 27th ranked league in the world. Poor quality of players. Coaches, tactics. What business do we have calling players? I think it can't be 27th. Maybe you mean 127.
No.
Or maybe 270th.
No. That's not. How many countries are in the world? So I think maybe he meant either 217 or 127.
Or 270.
All right. It says poor tactics, poor coaches. What business do we have calling players from there? All right, interesting. Clinton Elliott says, I can't believe we are comparing Ghana football system to that of England. We know go Senegal here. These people travel to England. All right, interesting. And it says, his message continues. It says, Moro played only 21 minutes for the Black Stars and was decent. I can't believe I'm hearing he fluffed for Ghana when he barely had minutes. That mentality is flawed too, because by that logic, anyone that makes a mistake on his debut shouldn't be giving another chance. I think I've made that point earlier. This message is from JB Danko, who says, all these long talk amounts to nothing. With all due respect, the standard of the league is not up there, and it doesn't justify the lack of quality players in the league. It's shameful. Gabriel Blankson said, whatever happened to a free Barnier after the World Cup? Is it because he's no longer in House of Folk? Nobody's talking about him. Oh, my country, Ghana. Daniel, talk some for me, he says. And this one is from Supremo Darling. He says, we all know Inaki is a good striker. No one should blame him for not delivering. Jordan and Kudus has failed to do their work properly because they all want to shine. They want to rather score goals instead of just giving Inaki proper passes for him to deliver. FCK Liberty says, please, Fentuo, ask Sitsofe what prevented him from calling for the inclusion of those other players into the Black Stars, but bringing it up now that Lamptey has been mentioned. Let me take a couple messages on WhatsApp as well. This one says, okay, let me. Okay, that's a message from Bedroom Pep Guardiola. So, okay, Jojo, can you help me here? Because my mouse is messing up. All right, let's read some message. This one says Cameroon did that in 2017.
That's a lie.
Let me read the message.
It's not true.
Okay.
It's not true.
So I shouldn't read the message. Let me read the message, and then you can correct it. Okay. He says, I think calling a player from GPL is a message from Richmond in Nyanyo, who says
Nyanyano.
Nyanyano. Is it Nyanyano? Okay,
Yeah,
not
Nyanyano.
Nyaho, sorry. Nyanyano. Thank you. I think calling a player from GPL isn't strange. Big and better nations have done that and will continue to do that. Brazil is well noted for that. At least they have local players in almost every call-up they've done for a tournament. The fact that the league is below a certain standard, it doesn't mean there aren't players in there who deserve a chance. And then you say Cameroon did that in 2017 by giving local players a chance. This might not be as a result of quality but character. I agree with the other panelists who said we need character rather than talented players who have no character. The Cameroon 2017 squad actually had one local player who was a goalkeeper.
A goalkeeper and an outfield player.
One outfield player. Okay, so there you go. But they did go without a lot of their so-called big
none
players.
of them played in the tournament.
That is true. All the problem is on our managers, not about the players. We have good players, and you say thanks for the good work. That's DK Kuma with that message. Let me take some more. Good afternoon, my people. This one says, okay, so where is it? Jojo, scroll faster.
Jojo, there's something on the right there.
I'm even shocked. Thank you. Are we here? No, go down now.
Technology there.
Oh, Jojo, you can't scroll fast.
It's not Jojo, it's Abeku. Abeku is the one
Abeku is slow.
Abeku doesn't even understand computer.
This is Papa Answer from
You were sleeping in ICT class.
He says, good afternoon, my people. Politics is destroying our football. He says, let me take some more messages as well. And then this one says, people like you guys are supposed to be making decisions for all sporting activities in the country, not the current crop of leaders who only care about gains. Richard from Bolga.
Richard, they say when we get into positions, we will be like that too.
God forbid.
That's what they
God
said.
for which bid?
God forbid.
That's what they said.
They said,
Because the people who are making the decisions were ones like us.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Especially this administration. They were all like us.
They were journalists. All right. Nitojo in Tema. He also sent us a message and he says, I hope the GFA, the Black Stars second card team, are doing their best for Mother Ghana. And you say happy birthday to Mr. and Mrs. Nimley. As well. Yeah.
Hey, but
this one says the challenge. It says the challenge with the Black Stars is not with players but coaching, because the players of the team move to their various clubs and their assumptions. But they come to play in the Black Stars and it's as if they have not played football before. And this is due to our team lacking teamwork. Players have played out of their natural positions and employment. I think you mean deployment of poor tactics and formations as well. So let's try and bury the thought of recruiting Lamptey, who I wouldn't say is bad, and rather resolve these few issues that make our team shine. Otherwise, our recruitment wouldn't end and go to the AFCON unprepared. And we will go to the AFCON unprepared. Ni Aiti in Dakuman with that message. I'll take one more and then we wrap it up. This one's from it says Shalom PKF. All right, God richly. Okay, okay. You are, okay. I don't think that message is for us, is it? Yeah, it's not for us. Anyway, all right, guys. Listen, I had something to say about the NSA, and so did Muftawu. But Black Stars is a passionate topic.
I had more.
Thank you. Black Stars is a passionate topic. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to wrap it up. But we are saying we are still chasing the money. The $1.1 million that is missing from the GFA.
Yeah. In fact, one parliament meant the ministries still say they don't get explanation. They don't know where the money is.
The ministry doesn't know where the money is.
Yes.
So the GFA will now be asked to explain.
Oh, yeah.
What do I explain? But Liverpool and over 4.5. Yeah.
Liverpool against Man United.
My heart will be broken, but my pocket will be full.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, Scott Gillan.
Yes.
He responded to one of the things and said, it's not that the players lack character or that, but they, the players themselves, they are tired of the system we run. That's a very deep point.
It is a deep point. We will explore that
later.
Yeah. Thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Thank
Ronaldo
you,
to score.
And thank you, Gary.
Arsenal to win.
Thank you all for tuning in. This has been another episode of Game Plan 99.7 Joy FM hits 103.9. The show is available as a podcast on all podcast platforms later and on YouTube on the Joy News channel.